Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Welcome back to OnAir as well. It's been a while since we've done a job in OnAir, and I should not be slacking off so much for our virtual airline. So here we are. Unfortunately, we won't have VATSIM today, but still, I hope we have a nice flight, and at least we can focus more on the avionics, the systems, and the sightseeing with no ATCs to contend with. We are starting off in this beautiful airport in Haley, Idaho. This is Friedman Memorial. Kilo Sierra Uniform November is the ICAO code. I don't know how I ended up here. Can't remember, but it's one beautiful looking airport. Too bad there's no snow, although that might be a bit of snow there, a bit of a hint. Cool. Anyway, I've plugged in all the stuff already in the flight plan. We are going to be cruising at flight level 430 today. We'll be heading towards somewhere in Colorado, if I remember correctly. Cortez Municipal. If I show you the flight plan, that is the origin. Destination is Kilo Charlie Echo Zulu. And with all the different legs, all the different waypoints plugged in, we should be good to start the engine, I believe, actually. Beacon. Now, if you're interested in learning more on how to plug the different legs in the flight plan, programming the FMS, highly recommend checking out the stream footage from the other week. That's where all the timestamps, all the details are set so that you can join me step by step in the start up of the plane from start to finish. Okay. Alright. Let's turn our taxi lights here. Release the parking brake. Let me turn on track IR so we can have that organic head movement. Very natural head movement. Here the engine spooling up bit by bit. We should start moving soon. There we go. Just ignore the guy in front. Mr. Pushback guy, always in the way. And it's beautiful in this area. I love these small airports, small scenic airports. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a beautiful departure, guys. Let me just double check. V speeds 108 V1, 109 VR. Getting close to the runway here. Oh my goodness, that sight. Also getting very good performance here in this airport. Very nice. Minimum stutters. Everything looking good. Strobes, landing lights, logo lights, taxi lights off. Stop here. Let's turn on our TCAS mode to TARA and let's start the timer. Lined up properly here. Take off detent. Airspeed's alive. 108, 109 knots is our rotation speed. There it is coming up. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Maintain a 10-degree pitch up attitude. Flaps can go up. Your damper can go up. Can go off. Can go on rather. And we can go back to the climb detent. And let autopilot take us the rest of the way. There are mountains in front of us though. That is actually very nice looking, my goodness. It sounds a bit scary. Looks a bit scary in the beginning, but oh my goodness, let's admire the view a little. Beautiful. Let's climb up and get some altitude first. Before we take care of turning around and getting on our actual flight plan, because right now we're actually headed the opposite way. But this is just looking so good. Doesn't that look great? Oh my goodness. I think I got my thumbnail shot there. 10,000 feet before OnAir complains. Turn off the landing lights. Seatbelt signs can go off as well. Right, let's turn around here. Heading mode should follow quite well. And feast our eyes on some snow-capped mountains here. Actually, yeah, the new snow addition in the weather system looks like it's working pretty well. It's adding the proper snow layers depending on the weather in the area. It's very nice. Zoom out here a bit. Yeah, that looks good. This part is pretty snowy, but this part is still like halfway there. It's not yet so sure what it wants to do. That is very nice. Cool. Okay. So in terms of legs page, JUNOL, you can probably go direct JUNOL. Can we just do like that? Okay, probably not. Can we say direct JUNOL? There you go. That works. Then hit nav mode. So that just changes the flight plan. So we can go direct to the next waypoint. Cool. This is the beauty. When you don't have VATSIM, you have more time to appreciate the scenery. That's the silver lining, I guess. Oh, that looks beautiful. I've been playing this sim for months now. I still cannot get over how beautiful the graphics are. And that's with all the other games that I started playing as well. Started playing other non-sim games offline just for my own leisure, not really for the channel. So I got into Cyberpunk with the beautiful ray tracing graphics. I finished it, and then I recently bought Red Dead Redemption 2, arguably one of the best games ever developed. And in terms of graphics, one of the best looking as well with all the sceneries. But even with that, even with those raising the standards, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 is no pushover. I think since the last time I flew this plane, they also updated it a bit, fixed a few of the... Did they fix any of the LNAV bugs? Well, we'll try and recognize it. I had some issues before, if you've seen the other streams, where it was having a hard time following the magenta line, like it was moving left and right, couldn't quite catch it. But yeah, it looks like that has been fixed. We'll monitor it. So far so good though. Oh wow, look at this view. Gives you the feeling that you're one of those CEOs, right? Riding on the business jet. Oh, this is cool. I believe this also is part of the CJ4 mod. I think they added all these fixed views. If you go to camera, showcase, and under fixed camera here, I think the default only goes up to number 3 or 4. So if you go through one of them, or one by one, that one, this one, and that one, and this one too. But I believe there are also these ones now, like the passenger window views, although the window itself is a pretty low polygon here, right? So it's not that scenic. The model, I think, has to be improved for this to make it believable. Oh, we're actually passing through some clouds. Hopefully there's no icing. I'll check in a bit. But yeah, you can scroll through some of the nice passenger views, perfect for those long flights. Just enjoying the scenery. Becoming the passenger. It's actually pretty cool. What is this? Toilet view? Oh, an outside view like this. Cool. Oh, that thin layer of clouds looks so good. What do you call that, guys? What kind of clouds are these? That looks so real. Have they improved the clouds recently? I don't remember seeing these like thin, wispy clouds like this. I remember like the cumulus ones, the fluffy ones, the sim is very good at, but the thin ones, I don't recall it looking this good. Sky Park is cool and everything, but in terms of multiplayer, you know, virtual airline stuff, flying together and building the company together, nothing can beat OnAir in that regard. So happy to have some very like-minded folks with the airlines. And if you are interested in joining, feel free. If you have an account in OnAir on the Thunder world, then feel free to join the OnAir VA as well. Let me see. The company code for the VA is Clums. Is it here? Charlie Lima Uniform Mike Sierra. So just remove the Y. So it's 5 letters, okay? That is how our company looks like. Some hard workers here. I think right now Gruntworks is leading the pack. The majority of the income is coming from him, and a lot of people are pitching in terms of becoming shareholders, pitching in with some equities in here. And thanks to that 800k gift I got, I am the majority shareholder with $1 million in equity. Pretty cool. So yeah, feel free to join. Cruising now at flight level 430, almost Mach 0.72. Looks like it will take a while though. We'll be at our destination in 40 minutes, looks like, or 53 if you look at that. Really like this progress page here. You can see very clearly how long it takes to the next waypoint and till your destination, and then you can even see what your fuel level will be and your gross weight will be by the time you hit your destination, which will be essential for like approach calculations and things like that. So this is very handy. This is also the view that the Premier 1 driver Greg has if you watch his channel. I think the avionics is very similar between the CJ4 and the Premier 1A. If not 1:1. Is it the Pro line something? But yeah, it's very similar in terms of looks, so I think it's the same. But he has this kind of setup as well, so I like to mimic it. Very practical stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a bit of time lapse. I think that will prove handy. Looks like the view outside also lends to that, so we'll check it out. Mach 0.725. Now I have to monitor my speed though. I don't want to get into the red tape here. Pull back 95% N1, even though we're not that fast. Better safe than sorry, because the overspeed penalty in OnAir it's brutal. So yeah, catch you guys in a bit. Enjoy. Welcome back. We are getting pretty close to top of descent. If we look at the FMS here, we actually have an indication of the distance to top of descent, 41 nautical miles away. It's a bit tricky to get to this point right now, but I think in the next update or next few updates they'll improve that. They'll probably include it in the progress page as well. But right now you can go here by going to performance, VNAV setup, going to the third page, and then go to VNAV monitor right here. And then you'll see the 38.6 nautical mile top of descent indication there. That should correspond exactly to that one. Although, that's quite interesting. It's not actually exact, because here you see the top of descent is beyond the 40-mile radius here. So, I'm not sure. Might be a bit of inconsistency there, but should be close enough. Right, what I wanted to do as well is to track the VOR. One second as I find the right button. If we go to PFD menu, I wanted to enable the bearing source for VOR1. That should be this one. And I wanted to tune into the Cortez VOR. That's the VOR of the airport, because we'll be using that a lot for our approach. I'll brief that later, but for now let's tune it first. So tune nav1 VOR. Cortez VOR is 8.4. So once we tune that, hopefully that we are within range already. Looks like not. Alright. We'll monitor the situation and we'll see. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back when it's close to top of descent already. Okay, 14 miles from top of descent. Should be close enough. We can probably set our altitude to 9,000 feet. Selected. 9,000 feet is the start of the approach. I'll brief that in a bit. Just put that to 9,000 and arm the VNAV. That should make this V out, you can see. And that should also arm the path there. As we get on the top of descent, that should then activate the V path, and we should be starting our descent in earnest. Now what is happening there? That's interesting. Saw it dive like that and now it's trying to go back up. Strange. Okay, almost there. We are starting to see the snowflake right there. It says 2 miles away from top of descent. We see the snowflake coming to the center. And anytime now, the proper descent should start, not like the one a while ago. Top of descent is blinking, and here we go. V path is active, and now we are starting our descent. Awesome, that's working. Wow, super bright outside. Now look at all these fluffy clouds. Looks like it's overcast at Cortez, our destination airport. Overcast at very low ceilings, so we'll see how the weather looks. Hopefully we'll get to land there safely, but we'll see. I hope we won't need to divert. Pushing back on the throttle here because we are getting pretty close to the red tape, and I don't want to go anywhere near that. OnAir is very strict, so I'm actually at idle now throttles. There we go. Okay, that's more manageable. Alright, let's monitor the speed like so. And in the meantime, we'll brief the approach here. There we go. So this is RNAV runway 3 approach to Cortez. Based on the weather, this is the ideal runway, ideal approach. Winds are 10 degrees at 6 knots, so pretty close to runway 3. That should give us proper headwind. And we will be doing the initial approach fix of Cortez VOR here, 108.4. And from Cortez VOR, which is somewhere here, I imagine, where my mouse is, you can see, we will go direct to Tahib. So imagine a line going from the VOR to Tahib waypoint, direct there. And then we'll do a procedure turn. I think in terms of the angle of the approach to Tahib, we will be doing a parallel entry. So we will be heading 190 across this leg. And if you see here, it says 8 nautical miles. So we'll be from Tahib, we will be heading 190 for 8 miles. and then we will turn around and intercept, make a left turn to intercept the final approach fix of what is the final approach fix here? The final approach course 010 maybe. Yeah, quite an interesting approach though, because you can see it's turning. So it's 010 all the way until Rolke, and then it's going to turn right to I don't know, 024 rather. There you go. So basically the final approach course is 024 degrees there, but initially it will be 010. Interesting approach. Okay, there we go. So apparently this VOR only has like a 40 nautical mile range. Maybe someone knows here who's watching. How do you tell what the range of a VOR is? Is that something you can see from the nav data maybe? Because I noticed it varies. Some of them you can track like up to 100 plus miles away. But this one in particular, there you go. Let's make it cleaner. VOR 137 miles. Okay, good. Perfect. Alright, starting the approach now. Cortez coming up 11 miles away. And then from there we'll turn right, direct Tahib. And from there I'll have to do the manual procedure turn. Because if you look at this flight plan here, Tahib and then Rolke, but if you look at the Tahib and Rolke waypoints there, it's kind of doing that sharp turn, sharp U-turn. So it's not doing any of proper procedure turn in here. That's something that is still to be implemented in this mod. So right now it's not yet working. That I think has to be programmed from scratch. So it's not part of the default Asobo flight planning mechanisms. And yes, as expected, so it looks like it's going to be IMC the entire way. We won't be seeing anything outside our windows until we land. Hopefully by the time we get close to the airport there should be something. Airport should be up ahead. Let me have a look outside. Yeah, there it is, Cortez Municipal. But since we'll be doing the entire procedure turn, we'll have to say goodbye for now and then do all the looping around and we'll get back on the right approach. Do this professionally. That looks very nice though. Weather isn't as bad as I thought, thankfully. Good. We're now going direct to Tahib. Oh, that looks beautiful. I did not expect. Well, I guess I should have, given that this is Colorado we're heading to. I should have expected something this nice. Anti-ice should be able to go off or pass through clouds now. Look at that. Although the icing doesn't seem like it did our aircraft any much good. So this is where we are. In past Rolke, we're headed straight to Tahib. And then instead of after Tahib just making a random U-turn, we'll do a full procedure turn. So once we reach Tahib, we'll go to heading mode. Heading 190 from Tahib, and when we'll count 8 nautical miles. So that's why I needed the VOR in there, because based on our distance from the VOR, I'll be waiting until I'm 8 miles away, 8 miles farther than the VOR, and then that's the signal that I can do my U-turn, my left turn onto the final approach fix, at least to 010, if that makes any sense. Okay, Tahib is 4 miles away. Let's go and check heading mode 010. Actually, no, 190 should be. Go to heading mode. There you go. So that doesn't follow the... because right now it's planning to go and do that U-turn already. We don't want that. So once we cross Tahib here, have a look at that chart there. That should be close enough. Yeah, that should be close enough. So after we cross that, I'll start counting 8 miles. Yeah, that should be okay. Alright, from now. So 22.7 plus 8 miles is what? 30.7. So once the VOR is 30.7 miles away from us, that should be a good signal that we can start turning left and heading into the proper direction. Wonder what river that is. Looks so good from up here, huh? 30.7 is coming up. That's good. Start our turn. Left turn. Intercepting 010. So I can probably put in around 340 on the heading. There we go. From here I should be able to go to nav mode. So if you see the breadcrumbs, it's kind of hard to see. But from the magenta line here, we went on a 190 heading, and now we turned left after 8 miles. That's actually right on point there of what it planned. And then from here, we should be turning right and joining back that proper approach 010 heading. We'll see if it does that. There it is. Plane is turning now. Man, that is looking beautiful. That is looking like a textbook approach in terms of the breadcrumbs, doesn't it? That looks so pro. Look at that teardrop shape there. Although it was a parallel entry, but yeah, it's close enough. I like it. And I kind of understand why the approach is looking like this. It's because we have these mountains on our left and right sides. We're kind of squeezing inside in the middle of these hills, these mountains. So we can't just go across the final approach course of 024 immediately, otherwise we'll smash into that mountain. We have to kind of squeeze our way through it. Right, that should be good enough. Landing lights are on. Logo lights on. Seatbelt signs on.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time.
Oh,
thank you.
Slow down before we cross 10,000 so we don't get any speeding. Ooh, that was close. I just noticed that we were going beyond 250 knots there. Thankfully, now is the time we go below 10,000, so that's only when the speed restrictions apply. It starts slowing down here. I need some speed brakes, I think, because I need to go below 200 knots so I can deploy flaps and the landing gear, and also arm the approach here. There we go. Actually, the glide path has been activated already, so we have captured the glide path. Perfect. One notch of flaps going down. Landing gear going down. Beautiful. There's the airport right in front of us. Awesome. Below 160 knots, full flaps. Okay. From here,
autopilot.
Should be able to get rid of autopilot, turn off yaw damper as well.
Altitude.
We're on our own. Actually forgot to set minimums. In this approach, minimums should have been 6440. So we're actually getting close to it now. No PAPI lights on the airport, so I'm going to rely on the snowflake to get us on the proper glide path. Are we good now? Flaps are full, landing gear all three green, landing lights are on. Looking good so far. Winds straight in front of us. Perfect. That's how we like it. It's looking pretty good, don't you think? Won't jinx it. Now, my problem most of the time is the flare. We'll see. Try not to flare as much, but the instinct is hard to get rid of. Alright. What is that huge pyramid in on the left side. Looks weird. Alright. Should be able to go to idle thrust now. Set it down. That's a bit harder than I anticipated, but at least didn't float anymore. Speed brakes. I'll take it. Oftentimes I float, so I have to fight the urge to pull up and pull up. I kind of felt like there was some kind of ground effect there actually. As I got close to the runway, the plane seemed to have floated more. Interesting. At least the sound wasn't so violent, was it? Not butter, but at least I don't think anything got damaged either. I'll take that. Welcome to Cortez, Colorado. That is a beautiful shot. Okay. Flaps can go up. Landing lights off. Switch that to taxi lights. Turn off the strobes as well. And let's taxi to the ramp. Man, both our departure and destination airports are so scenic. Just having all these mountains all across, so nice. There's the marshaller. Oh, and let's turn off the heaters as well. Avoid these guys overheating. There it is. There we are. Okay, I think I have to face this way. Do a sharp turn here. Nice. Perfect. Thank you. I'm happy with that. And now we can turn off the engines. Nice. I actually don't like that auto pause going back to main menu thing, because I can't hear the engine spooling down. That's like one of the fulfillments I get. Turning off the avionics, turning off the engine, and turning off the battery like so. That gives me the full flight feeling. And then looking at it from the exterior like that. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Someone's pushing back there. Interesting. Okay, so let's go back to OnAir. That has been captured properly. Reputation increase, comfort bonus, safety bonus, aircraft handling bonus. Okay, there we go. No penalties, although we came pretty close there. We got a bit of penalty for delivering the job late, but that's fine because we earned like 30k. 33k from that, and 3k was the penalty. Yeah. Let's have a look. Someone's taxiing actually on his way departing this airport. 9,000 was my pay, so it should be around 27,000 maybe, something like that for the VA itself. Cool, I'll take that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Had an enjoyable flight. Now I'll enjoy editing this video. Looking forward to the final product. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Clumsy flying, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully next time we'll have VATSIM. We'll see. Hang tight and bye-bye.